final tragic act. Lear has lost literally everything: his power, his kingdom, even his sanity. But in the midst of all this wreckage, there's a glimmer of hope. He's found by Cordelia, the daughter he banished, who's come back with an army from France to try and save him. Just look at this transformation. It's a complete tragic flip. He starts as a king. He has absolute power, but he's blind to reality. He ends as a prisoner. He has zero power, but he can finally see the truth. That's the cruel, brutal irony of the whole play. He had to be stripped of everything he thought was important just to understand what actually was. And this is just the final, gut-wrenching twist of the knife. He and Cordelia are captured, but for a brief moment in prison, Lear is actually happy. He doesn't care about being a king anymore. He's just happy to be with his daughter. But that piece is ripped away when Cordelia is executed, just senselessly murdered. And that final grief is just too much. It breaks him, and he dies right there, holding her body. So after all that devastation, you have to ask, why? Why do we still watch this play? Why do we still talk about it 400 years later? I think it's because it's like a giant 400-year-old mirror. It forces us to look at some of the hardest questions and deepest fears we all have. I mean, this play wrestles with the biggest questions imaginable, and it doesn't give you any easy answers. It asks, is the world just, or is it just cruel? Can you find wisdom through suffering? What do we owe our family? How do we deal with getting old, with facing our own death? And maybe the biggest one of all, after you've lost everything, how do you find any meaning at all? And maybe that's what it all comes down to. In a story that is just soaked in betrayal and cruelty, it's those small acts of loyalty from Cordelia, from a few others, that really stick with you, even though they end in tragedy. And so the play leaves us with this one final, really difficult question to chew on. In a world that can be so brutal, what is loyalty really worth?